So I'm going to give you an idiot's guide of adding extra sockets. That's important I give you a brief explanation of how electrical circuits work, so you don't put yourself or your family at risk. So, in the UK, there's two common types of circuits for your electrical sockets. You could have a ring main, which essentially you have a wire coming from an MCB at the fuse board, and it will connect to each socket and then come back and return to the same MCB in the fuse board. Now, you can add extra sockets. You can spur off an existing socket and have up to one extra socket as a spur. No more than that. You can extend the ring main, so in theory you would get rid of this cable between two sockets and add extra sockets and then join it back up again to extend the ring main. But that's difficult to do. The problem is you don't know whether you are extending the ring main, because if somebody before you has put extra spurs in, which is bad practice and it's dangerous, you may find this socket and assume that's a part of the ring main because it's got two wires coming out of it, when in actual fact it's just a bit of a radial circuit off the ring main and it's dangerous. So essentially what's happening here is each circuit will have a weak point in it somewhere, and that weak point is the part that's going to blow if the circuit get overloaded. And when we design an electrical circuit, that weak point is going to be the MCB. We want that MCB to blow before any of these cables blow, because if these cables go, it could mean a fire in the middle of the night when you and your children are sleeping. The other type of circuit is a radial circuit. So you have one cable coming from an MCB in your fuse board, and they'll be connected like a daisy chain, just like you see in the diagram here. Now in theory, you could spur off one of these sockets as many times as you like, so long as you're using the same size cable, because it will be protected ultimately by the MCB in the board here. Now where the confusion comes is knowing whether you have a ring main circuit or a radial, and that's really difficult to tell without the proper testing equipment and ideally a very good understanding of the mathematics behind electrical circuits, which most of us don't, and which is why electricians are worth their weight in gold. Now let's assume you have a ring main and you wanted to add an extra circuit. There's no way of telling if the socket you're going to spur from is a part of the ring main, because if you go adding extra sockets like this on a spur, essentially what you could do, you could overload this cable and it would no longer be protected by the MCB, and that's where you could potentially have a fire. So because we're not electricians and we don't have all the proper testing equipment to know how to extend a ring main or to test whether we have a radial circuit, some people say you can go to a fuse board, and if you check back where your sockets are connected to what MCB, let's say for example it's this MCB here, if it's only got one cable coming out of it, you could be pretty sure that's a radial circuit. But the problem is sometimes radial circuits will have two cables coming out of it, because you're allowed to branch off a radial circuit like this from another socket, for example, or a junction box maybe, and create more sockets. But you can also branch from the MCB itself and have two radials coming off one MCB. So that's where the confusion lies, and without all the proper testing equipment, just don't do it. It's not worth the risk unless you're willing to pay an electrician to come and test it for you. And if you're going to do that, you may as well just get him to add the extra sockets for you and have it done properly. In this case, I want to add some extra sockets in my garage. So to be on the safe side, because I don't know the history of the electrical design in this house, I don't know whether the socket I want to extend from is a part of a radial or a spur, or that is the ring main. So to be on the safe side, what we can do is I'm going to put a fused spur in here, and then I can extend this as much as I like with as many sockets as I like, so long as it's protected by a 13 amp fuse. So essentially the weak point of this circuit will be the fuse. So if it gets overloaded, the only thing that's going to blow is the fuse and not the cable, and cause a fire and kill myself and my family while we're asleep. Now the only problem with having a fuse spur like this and adding multiple sockets, as I'm going to do, is that you could, in theory, have items running off each one of these sockets all at once, and it will keep blowing the fuse, which is not a problem. We can replace the fuse, but it's unlikely to happen in my circumstances. This is going to be in my garage, and the most I'll ever have on at one time is 2 items running, so I'm never going to blow this fuse. So that's a really basic idiot's explanation of an electrical circuit. So now that I've given you a basic explanation as to why I'm going to install these sockets like I am, let's go and install some sockets. We're going to stick a couple of grommets in these back boxes here. That's just going to protect the cable from these sharp edges. Okay, so we've got all our cables run. I've got all the boxes on the wall. So this cable runs all the way along here, along this joist, and it drops down for a socket there. And then we're just going to go across the wall here and drop down for our socket down there, which will power the saw bench. And we're going back up again, simply so we can avoid this tool rack here. We're going back up again along here, and we drop down, which will be our first socket from the FCU, and then we're going to go up there, and that socket is the only socket in this garage. We're going to do away with that altogether and turn that into our fuse control unit. So my plan is to get all the sockets installed first, all wired up, ready to go. So that way I can flick the power off to the main consumer unit in the house, and then quickly get the fuse control unit installed and then wired up to the sockets. So that way I don't have the power off too long. I'll get everything else done first, all the donkey work done, and then we'll make the final connection last. So what we're going to do, these are metal back boxes, so they have to be earthed. If you look in the back of them, I have a metal terminal there, and you'll find that this is an exposed back box, a surface mounted one, but even the ones that you sink in the wall, the metal back boxes, there'll be an earth terminal. We took a spare bit of cable and we stripped the earth cable out of that. We'll go around to each socket and we'll attach an earth wire to each one of these terminals. Just make a snip on the end of the wire like this to expose the earth cable, and then you can just grab it and give it a tug like that, and it'll automatically strip this wire for you. Do yourself a favour, leave plenty of slack. There's no point in having these cables too short. If they're long enough, then you've got plenty of room to work on the back of the socket without having to lean over and stretch and see what you're doing. So it's one of it's a pet hate of electricians, is when people cut these wires too short. Loosen all the terminals ready. In case you don't know, brown is live, blue is neutral, and of course these are your earths. If you've got older wiring, black will be neutral and red will be live. So all the lives will go into the same live terminal, all the neutrals will go into the same terminal, and all the earths will go into the same terminal. rinse and repeat. Okay, so we've run all our cables in the garage. All the sockets are mounted and they're all wired up, so we're ready to do our final step, which is make the final connection at the fuse control unit. We're going to turn the power off. Now I could just switch the socket MCB off, but I don't know the history of this building, so I'm not going to take any risk. I'm just going to turn the main switch off and turn the entire power off to the whole house. This is what I'm talking about, cutting your cables too short and not giving you enough slack to actually play with. So this is going to be fun. So what you see on the back of your fuse control unit here, we have a supply side. So essentially that's going to be the side that is your ring main or your radial circuit going in. And then the load is the cables coming out to your new sockets. So there you have it, an idiot's guide to adding some new sockets to your house. Now I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't recommend you attempt this yourself unless you're really competent. You're best just to get an electrician. There's no point in putting yourself or your family at risk. I myself, I work closely with an electrician. We work together on a weekly basis. So next time he's here, which is 3 days from now, I'm going to have him come in here, check over everything I've done and run some tests. Next week, we're going to add some more lighting because it's really dark in here. So we're going to add a couple of extra strip lights. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe.